Hi friends, this is Dainty Tank. Thank you for joining me. Welcome back to Please Be Happy. This is part 20 in the series. 2-0. We made it that far. In our comfy gay. I have a cute kitty in my lap. It's a pixel visiting through. As many of you know, he likes to come and hang out. And your nose is so cold and wet. I wish there was like a pixel cam where you got to see my lap, but on the flip side, then I would be kind of like shooting a camera towards my lap. So that's a downside. So have a cat that I'm holding on one side, and we're going to be clicking through on the other. Actually, sir, I need my arm for a minute. I know.
Ugh, it's about time. I was getting bored.
On wings of night. We had fun running around in the wild with our paramour of sorts. And it was a lot of fun. So, it seems all of these pass the time by. Bell House, Cuba Street, the park. I'm tempted to go by the Bell House. So let's go by the Bell House. An employee I don't recognize is working the counter today at the cafe. She asked for my name with a tease, but polite with a... Okay, she asked for my name with a terse but polite smile and bags under her eyes. She must have come in early or something. I mumble my name for her absentmindedly and walk off to find a seat. When she finishes prepping my drink, I hop up to grab it before she even calls on my name since there's nobody else around waiting for their orders. Best not to make her do any extra work. I thank her extra enthusiastically, hoping to impart a little bit of energy to her. Sit back down and sip at my drink without anything in particular to occupy my wandering eyes. Hold on. There's writing on the cup. She wrote my name as Miho. Oh, and you can read that now. Mimo. I don't know how she got that from Miho. But it makes me laugh to myself. So that's fine. Good. Oh, when evening rolls around again, I drift into Juliet's study once again. The door is open, and I can see her sitting at her desk inside.
Knock, knock.
Come in.
I take a seat across from her. I've started to think of it as my seat. Aw.
How was your day today?
It was fine. Not too much happened. Do you want to hang out again?
Come to have me make good on my promise already.
Only if you want to. It's fine if you're busy.
I'm never too busy to spend time with you.
Uh-huh.
Great! Remember, it's your turn to pick where we go this time.
Right. Give me just a moment to prepare, and then we'll be off.
Yes, please. Ooh, the bay. We come to stop near the ocean, just the two of us. Lights from the city shine behind us. And out on the water, a handful of others glitter from faraway ships. The tide comes in and out, but we stand just outside its reach. Everything is quiet, aside from the soft splashing of the water lapping at our feet. The crisp night air carries trace of salt. Side by side, Juliet and I both gaze out at the open sea.
It's beautiful.
Juliet nods. During the day, this beach is full of people laughing and playing or relaxing in the sun. This late, however, there's only a few others around, barely more than shadows against the sea.
So this is your favorite place?
Keeping her eyes fixed on the distant horizon, Juliet hesitates before answering.
One of them, yes. I'm not sure that I could choose one above all others.
Aw.
I've always loved the ocean, though. I find it calming and serene. Did you know that there are no oceans in the underworld?
Really?
Really? No, I didn't know that.
It's true. There are lakes and rivers, but nothing like the sea. I never even witnessed it as a human.
Oh.
When I heard stories, I thought that surely they were exaggerated. Imagine my surprise when I saw it for myself.
Whoa.
I think back to the first time I saw the sea when I followed Junin's trail all the way to its end.
I didn't even know it existed until I saw one. And when I did, I thought it was just a really big lake.
I mean, kinda, but different.
You must have been just as surprised as I was.
Mm-hmm. I got on the boat and it took me to China. Not that I knew that. I didn't even know what Korea was, or that I'd left it.
I'm sure it didn't take you long, though. You learned very fast.
Only sometimes. There's some stuff that I learned really slowly.
As do we all. As do we all.
Oh. Oh. That was depth of emotion. Why are you so good at, like, pitching your voice to make me feel things? Ah! The second time she says it, her voice is softer, almost as if she didn't mean to speak out loud. We stand there in silence for a couple minutes.
I used to come here all the time. Just to stand and watch the waves. They're calming, I think.
Yeah. It makes me feel really small. Since no matter what, the ocean stays the same, you know?
The ocean does stay the same.
It doesn't care about us. Or about our lives. It just is.
Cold, heartless ocean. Full of dangerous things. Juliet nods.
Precisely. I couldn't have said it better.
Did you come here by yourself?
Sometimes. Not always. Cosette loved the ocean too, of course. When she was young, she used to say that she wanted to be the captain of a ship and sail all around the world and see all there was to see.
Did she ever do it?
No, probably not. She was very young, and that's very adorable.
No. The first time she set foot on a boat, she got terribly seasick and never boarded one again.
Oh.
We go to the beach often, though. This one or others.
Others?
Even if she couldn't live that dream of hers, she never stopped loving the idea. After she passed away, I would return here on my own nearly every night.
Oh.
Sleep was impossible, but I could gain some measure of peace and rest just by watching the tide. Its constant, reliable motion was something I could hold on to. It ebbs and flows, just like life itself.
I glance up at Juliet, half expecting to see tears in her eyes, but there aren't any. Her voice is strong and stable too, not trembling like she's going to cry. She looks down, meeting my gaze, and smiles. For a long moment, neither of us look away. It's like that moment in the library when I felt we were seeing each other for the first time. As we look into each other's eyes, I feel my heart start to beat faster. Even after she peers back out to the water, I feel electrified. Something begins to swirl inside of me, to take shape that I'm starting to understand.
I spent so long in misery and grief that I began to forget it was possible to exist without them. Everything was a painful reminder of what I'd lost, in days that would never come again.
That's true, but that's true for everybody. Days will never come again. This day or another day.
And yet, I find that the ocean is still beautiful. Even now, it's more beautiful when beside someone special. Impossibly, unchangingly so.
Oh, you're so romantic.
As you said, in the face of such vastness, our petty little lives feel so tiny and insignificant.
Aww.
Years of pain that may feel eternal are really only drops in such a big, big bucket. I think that's what helped me to find some measure of solace and strength to go on.
I'm glad you did.
Me too.
Up in the sky, the blinking lights of a satellite or airship are another reminder of how life goes on around us. They look just like the stars. So pretty. Standing here next to Juliet, I feel the same kind of quiet warmth that I did last night after our run together. Something from inside myself that feels good, strong, and right. You know what this moment reminds me of? If Found, which was a amazing game. Gorgeous trans story around Cassiopeia, Cass, and her life in Ireland. And it's so beautiful watching kind of the thoughts and the feelings of the vastness of everything around them coalesce in these different but still similar in some ways messages, and I love it so much. The trials and pains that we've been through are very different in nature, but I'm glad that they brought us to the same spot. Beside me, Juliet takes a couple steps forward, a smile back on her face.
Would you care to walk a little?
Yes.
Sure.
Sure. We move slowly, following the shoreline, close enough together that I keep bumping into her. Sand makes it hard to walk straight. It's okay, you don't have to walk straight. Nor do we. Juliet doesn't seem to mind though, and for some reason every time it happens I feel a little spark of excitement inside. The tide sloshes in a bit higher, enough to sweep against our shoes, but we keep going. Shells and seaweed decorate the beach, and I take care not to step on anything that I might break. Oh, I'm sorry, I booped your nose. I didn't mean to boop your nose on the table. Sorry, sir. We walk until we reach the far end of the beach. We walk until we reach the far end of the beach, where a few stacked boulders and a pathway lead back into town. The boulders are worn down by the waves and sometimes reach here, and the grass path stops abruptly just before it. I notice something in the dark though, a little green sprout poking up from the ground. Beyond there, the rest of the plants dare grow. Julie and I stop walking, but my heart continues to pound with a dull thud as that swirling something, that electrified feeling makes me realize what it is. Not just realize, but admit it to myself. The name of that spark, the feeling, the reason it feels good to stand next to her, to bump into her, to make her smile.
Hey, Juliet?
Somehow I don't feel nervous. Not like Aspen was. Because now that I understand, saying this to Juliet just feels right. Just a step or two ahead, Juliet turns around to face me. The moon shines down like a spotlight, illuminating her in the darkness. Her expression is unreadable, and I wonder if she knows.
I think I'm in love with you.
Ah! Sir, not time. Okay, bye. Ah! A small wave crests, smashing against the shore. It splashes my legs, but I don't mind. I barely notice. I consider saying more about how I feel, her words that day when Aspen told me her own feelings, or about how I feel when I'm with her. For once, there's a lot I could say, but I choose not to. I've said all that I need to. With Juliet, so much has already been unspoken that I'm confident she would understand me now. Right now, her eyes go wide, but otherwise, she remains unchanged. I wait. Now that I've said that, I don't know what I hope she'll say. Thinking about myself as the kind of person who could be in love still feels weird, but also feels true. Whatever else that might include and whatever Juliet might feel about me, that's a whole other issue. So, is everything else between us, like whether or not she'll be leaving? No matter if she stays or goes, no matter if she feels the same way or if I do, none of that's important right now. Right now, I'm just glad to be able to put a name to these feelings. Finally, Juliet takes a step forward and places a hand on my shoulder. She's touched me a lot sometimes before, but this time, I'm hyper aware of her presence.
Thank you for telling me, Miho. I must confess that I don't know what to say. My thoughts are all aflutter right now.
Oh my god, the blush is killing me. I love that she tucks her hair around her ear when she's like unsure. It's so cute.
It's okay. You don't have to say anything. I just wanted you to know.
But you deserve a response. I simply don't know how to give it at the moment. Would it be okay if we talked about this more tomorrow? I just...
For the first time ever, Juliet seems truly at a loss for words. At Cosette's grave, or when I yelled at her afterwards, or any other time seemed that something has happened. She's always managed to regain her composure. But now, she seems lost. Honestly, I think I prefer it that way. Ha ha ha, you mischievous fox, I love you. I reach up and place my hand on hers.
Yeah. That's fine. Really.
Thank you.
Juliet's... Sorry, I can read. Juliet's hand lingers on my shoulder a moment longer before sliding out from beneath mine, and I miss it as soon as it's gone.
Wanna go back to the library?
She nods, seemingly relieved. We climb the small slope up to the road and begin walking back together, side by side like before. Keep my gaze firmly fixed ahead of me, and I'm pretty sure she does too. Both of us keep our thoughts to ourselves. My heart turns somersaults as we go, filling me with nervous energy without an outlet. Now that I've said them, the enormity of my words, and just what they mean for me, has begun to sink in. Juliet's kindness and compassion, the memories we've already made together, and the way she understands me in a way that only other fabled can? All those things have been pointing in this direction for some time. It's just that I only now figured out what that road was leading. When we go back to the library, we wordlessly hug each other before going our separate ways. In my bed, I lie awake and stare at the ceiling.
I'm in love.
Oh, it's so precious! I know... I'm sorry, I'm just so giddy. I love how long they took for the build-up. Because not only is this, like, an excellent, like, way in which they're handling the start of a fresh new relationship, but they've built up to it. There was so much that Miho had to overcome to be in a space to feel safe and to have that safety and security in her life to even consider being in love. And that's one thing to really talk about here is the fact that she has come from a place of survival, of pure trauma, everyday survival instinct. That's exactly what that was. And for her to have gotten to the point where she feels safe, secure, and comfortable, for her to be able to go past that and start to feel and learn and express is so huge. And so I love that the game has taken the time to build us up for chapters through her journey up through that to get us to this point of now that I feel safe, now that I am secure, I can love. I have the capacity, I have the space to love. And I love that. Okay. Plus, it's just so cute. I know what I said. I know what I sound like when I am lying, and it's not how I sound now. My feelings are real and true, and now they're out there. Yeah, you confessed on the beach, and it was really romantic. Tomorrow feels so far away, and yet I don't know what I'm waiting for. What would it mean if Juliet loves me too? What would it mean if she doesn't? Still figuring out what that means for me to be in love myself. I haven't gotten to the other parts yet. As I close my eyes, though, thinking about her hand beneath mine and the feeling of her arms around me, I couldn't help but think maybe I'm hoping for more than I can admit. Oh my god. Meanwhile, Only a few days after I agreed to be in a play with Lena and Cyrus, it's time for the first rehearsal. Even though I'm not going to be as involved in it as they are, I still want to see what everything is like. Head to the park and find the area that's been set up to practice. When I get there, I find a bunch of people waiting. More than at any of the other activities I've tried with Lena. Most of them are reading through thick packets of paper, standing alone or in small groups. Lena's one of the people on her own, until I go and join her.
Hey, Miho! Ready to be a tree?
Ready to be a tree.
As ready as I'll ever be. What about you? Are you nervous?
Me? Nervous? No way!
I love the voice acting in this.
So that only happens when it comes to Cyrus, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe just a little. That's different, though.
How's the group chat going?
Hey, you should go find him and get a copy of the script, too.
It isn't hard to locate Cyrus. He's surrounded by a few boxes of props, snacks, and other supplies. Like Lena promised, or maybe threatened, he's been included in our check-in calls to make sure he remembers me. He nods when he sees me approaching.
Oh, it's my favorite tree.
You're welcome.
Hey! Lena said I should get a copy of the script.
That's a pretty good idea. Let me find yours.
He digs through the bunch of copies of the script until he finds one with my name on it.
Here you go. I marked all the parts where you'll be on stage.
I flip through the pages. A few sections are circled in red pen. I'm glad he did that because it took me a long time to read through the whole thing. It'd take me a long time to read through the whole thing on my own.
Feel free to relax for today. We'll do some dry reads and not much else.
Okay, I can do that.
I can just sit around in a park, not a problem. I wander back to Lena, who's boldly speaking to no one.
But Mother, today is my birthday. It's not necessary to...
She stops shaking her head.
Maybe a bit more whiny. Oh, Miho! Tell me which one you think sounds better.
She repeats the line she was just practicing twice, just like when she made the drink to compete with Aspen. I have a hard time telling the difference.
The second one.
Okay, I thought so too.
Yay.
In ballet, you don't have to worry about talking or sounding good. This is harder than I thought.
Yeah.
Have you done the ballet version before?
Nah, but I've seen others perform it 1,000,000 times. I'm sure I'd end up doing it someday if I'd stuck with ballet.
Aww.
Why'd you quit? I never really got the chance to ask before.
Lena looks off into the distance, seemingly unusually serious. Her wings sag and she bites her lip.
It's kind of complicated.
Oh?
Mostly because my parents really wanted me to do it. Like, really wanted. Ballet or dancing or anything like that. But I'm just like, hello? Can you get any more cliche than a swan girl doing ballet? Or any of that stuff? It's one of the reasons I wasn't sure about saying yes to Cyrus.
Oh?
I don't get it. What's so bad about that?
They're always like, do this, do that, it's tradition, it's expected, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to live my life like that, you know? I want to do my own thing.
Good for you!
So you quit ballet because you don't like it?
I do like ballet, and I'm good at it too. But if I kept doing it, it wouldn't be for myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. You gotta choose if it makes sense for you. If it doesn't, and it's been something that's pushed on you, taking a break is not a bad thing. Then it's really just determining, does it bring you joy? Do you want to go back?
I think so.
It reminds me of some of the conversations I've had with Aspen and Juliet, where they encourage me to do things for myself. Lena's in the same situation, but from a different angle.
Anyway, now that I've said yes to doing this, I'll do my best. I've got to be the best actor in the whole performance.
The best. That sounds more like the Lena I know. I let her practice her lines to me, sometimes saying the lines for other characters if she asked for it. Eventually, Cyrus calls everyone together to do some parts as a group. I was about to say, oh my god, good job, Miho! Keeping up enough to go back and forth with Lena on the script. That's awesome! I sit on the sidelines and watch. Both Lena and Cyrus give it their all, just like Lena promised. Some of the other actors sound a little bored or unsure of themselves, but those two don't have any issues. After a while, Cyrus calls an end to the rehearsal, and we all go our separate ways until next time. Okay, that was really cute. My paws carry me across the wet leaves and mud. Fog has crept into the forest as stealthily as me. Glimpses of the sky are rare. Between the trees and the mist, the wild mountains and hills are hidden as well, out of sight but not my mind. I run, filled by the sense of purpose. It lightens my steps and pulls me in the right direction. I'm going to see someone I care about very much, and who cares about me. Somehow, we found each other. My person. The path to follow is engraved in my body and mind, almost instinctual. A warm smile, a gentle touch, a kind word. These are the things that draw me forward. I slow down as I get closer to my destination, until the silhouette waiting for me. It's impossibly bright as I approach, my heart pounding in anticipation, like the sun has descended to greet my person too. Matches the feeling in my chest, warming my soul and fur. So bright that when my person turns around, stooping low to greet me, light is all I can see. But I don't need to see, only hear. That voice that I could never forget.
Little fox, where is your home?
That was Juliet and Jonin. I opened my eyes to my darkened room. My nap must have lasted a couple hours, longer than I intended to. The moon and stars were already out. I could barely remember what I did with the rest of my day before I took my nap. Breakfast with Juliet was quiet, and we didn't talk about last night. I'm sure she'll bring it up when she's ready. After a quick check-in with Aspen on the phone, I went through work like a zombie, mindlessly making my way through my tasks. After closing up, I planned to just catch a quick snooze, but the late nights and exercise I've been getting fully caught up with me. The last few seconds of my dream replay in my mind while I lay in my bed, facing the wall. That touch, that voice. I can't say for sure whose they were. As I come to my senses, I start to notice something out of the ordinary, a sound drifting up from downstairs. Music. Rolling out of bed, I go and crack my door open. Sure enough, the sounds of violin and piano waft their way from the library. There's another sound too, Juliet talking to someone. Her words are muffled by the distance in the music, but I can tell from the soft tones that it's her. I wonder if the other vampire, Ezekiel, is here. Don't hear a second voice though. I draw in a shaky breath and prepare myself, and then head downstairs. The music gets louder as I approach the main room, until I finally discover its source. Juliet set up an old record player on one of the library tables. A small stack of dusty records sits next to it, the sleeves all frayed around the edges. As around the corner, a soft murmur of Juliet's voice becomes coherent, and I pause for a moment to listen, still out of sight.
Both of them. You and Aspen would make great friends, I'm sure.
Are you talking to Cosette?
The two of you have always been such dreamers, born for worlds greater than our own.
Sounds like you're talking to Cosette.
She's at the start of her own new adventure. I can't wait to see where it takes her. Whatever it takes to make those dreams come true. I know she'll find it within herself.
Oh, such positivity! I start to tiptoe around the corner, curious to see who it is Juliet's talking with.
And as for Miho...
I freeze again, halfway there.
There's simply too much to say about her. I wouldn't even know where to begin. But there is one thing that I'm quite certain of.
Of course. Of course you're talking to Cosette. Of course. And it's, of course, the picture frame that I stole. Yep. I step around the wall to find Juliet on the other side of the room, with her back to me. She stands near Cosette's portrait, one hand on the frame, the same as she placed it on my shoulder last night.
I'm sure you would have loved her too.
Aww. Both of us remain motionless, locked in place. Did I hear her right? Did I understand her right? A few seconds later, the song that was playing comes to an end, and the sound from the record player becomes soft static as the needle scratches the empty center. It breaks the spell that bound us. Julia turns around slowly, gracefully. Her elegance feels like such a contrast to the way that I stand there awkwardly, processing what I heard. She acknowledges me with a smile, but walks past and goes to the record player. She carefully lifts the needle and turns the record over, then lowers it again, as soon as the sound of music fills the air once more. Now, Juliet approaches me, one hand outstretched towards me.
Shall we dance?
Yes.
I don't know how.
Well, it's okay. Even as I say it, I reach out for her as well, placing my hand on hers.
That's okay. It's quite simple. I'll show you.
Julia gently pulls me forward, and I reach her in just a few steps. Oh! It's so cute! She holds our linked hands out to the side and wraps her other arm around me. I just kind of stand there letting her guide me. My heart feels like it's going to jump out of my chest, but I keep myself calm, focusing on the motions instead. We sway from side to side in time with the music, just turning a small circle in place. It's harder than I expect, and I stumble more than once as I try to mimic what she's doing. Never been this close to Juliet for so long before, or to any other person. We start to move more as Juliet takes tiny steps around the room, and I do my best to keep up with her, although I'm always half a beat late. Once I step on her foot again by accident, and I'm the one who winces.
Sorry.
It's okay.
She takes it in stride, not missing a step. The song ends, and another starts, and we keep going. Little by little, I'm getting the hang of it, although I still feel clumsy and make mistakes. I'm not able to get into the flow, stepping in time with Juliet instead of just her. Just after. Just inches away from my face, Juliet looks into my eyes, and I gulp nervously, but stare back, trying to focus on both her and my feet.
I've been thinking quite a lot about what you said yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah?
My voice is barely a whisper, a croak. I can tell that I'm blushing furiously. Being with her like this, I have a feeling I already know what she's going to say, but it doesn't stop my heart from racing. Juliet nods, her forehead almost bumping against mine.
And?
She leans in and kisses me. Oh! The music builds to a crescendo as Juliet's lips find mine, and we both close our eyes. I surrender all thoughts and fears, aware of nothing but the feeling of our kiss, and then the gentle rhythm of our dance. Juliet's fingers curl tightly around my hand, and I squeeze back, not needing any words to communicate. With her other arm still around me, Juliet holds me close and tight, and I wrap my free arm around her too. We rock and sway as I trust my body to do the thinking for me, and I find it easier to move in time with her. The two of us dance around the library as I let her lead and I follow, feeling warm and alive and complete. Even when we end our kiss, we stay like this, close together with our hands linked. The blush on her face is still there, but I think it looks good on her. I rest my head on Juliet's shoulder, and she tilts hers against mine.
And I love you too.
Ah, it's so cute! Oh my god! I love this! And if she even needed to say it. Ah, my heart! Juliet and I talk and dance and kiss into the night until sleepiness manages to overwhelm my excitement. I have to go to bed. Even as my head hits the pillow, I'm looking forward to waking up tomorrow and seeing Juliet again. When I do open my eyes a few hours later, the feeling of elation hasn't left me and gets me to bounce out of bed and get ready in a hurry. That's good, but we'll do the rest next time. I know I'm cutting it early, the reason why I actually have to get going. I'm sorry, or else I'd do this more, but that's okay. That's okay. There's gonna be more next time. We're getting into like the dating space here, and obviously it's going quickly and well. Yay, Juliet! Yay, Juliet! Okay. I'm happy. All right, here we go. With that, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye.